Here's the thing. Brigham Young talked about the word of wisdom a lot, right? I've read Discourse of Brigham Young several times, and he's talked a lot about the word of wisdom, and he talks about it in a way that makes a lot of sense. And the part about like tea and coffee and this stuff, because the blessings of the word of wisdom is that you'll run and not be weary and walk and not faint, right? And, he's basically, there's a quote by him, and I'll try and get it right, but he says, you know how, to run and not be weary? It's like, don't run beyond what you have strength to run. Meaning, if you're consuming coffee to get more work done in the day than you naturally have strength for, you're running beyond your capacity. You're running more than you have strength to run.
Yeah, you're running a deficit at that point in your body.
And
that's a bad thing.
And that's the principle, is don't do unnatural things to extend what your work capability in the day. Don't work beyond your physical means. And that's the principle. It's not it's not about this substance or that substance. It's about, are you pushing yourself harder than the Lord created you to do? Because that's not healthy physically or spiritually.
Or for the other vices, like whether it's tobacco, inappropriate use of tobacco or alcohol, these are unnatural. Well, I guess tobacco is natural, so is beer. But the point is, this is producing the relaxing effect, that sensation, in a way that your body would not do on its own. And to that principle that Brigham was talking about, is that appropriate? Or are there other more healthy ways to create a similar effect through, for instance, for me, I used to love coming home and having a few beers just to relax, take the edge off, to relax, and be able to just start to settle down. Now, when I come home after the chaos of children, if I sit down and actually take the time to just study the scriptures, realign myself with the Lord, and I don't do that perfectly, but when I really do, when I really say, let me set a few minutes aside for the Lord, I am just as, if not more, relaxed. I have so much more peace and so much more joy in my life, and the cares of the day fade away in a way that alcohol could never produce, And so, to Brigham's point, there are ways to achieve those things that we need that are more righteous. It's a higher order of achieving that, as opposed to a little bit of a shortcut method through tea, coffee, beer, wine, whatever the case may be.
Flesh of beasts and the fowls of the air, I, the Lord, have ordained for the use of man with thanksgiving. Nevertheless, they are to be used sparingly. And it is pleasing unto me that they should not be used only in times of winter or of cold or famine. I think that second verse there gets overlooked quite a bit. This is one of those ones where they don't seem too interested in it in the Temple Recommend interview question. Do you live the word of wisdom? Well, I eat meat outside of times of winter, cold, or famine. And the bishop's like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, not the
okay, well, it's in the word of wisdom. I don't know why it's more or less important than the other verses. But there it is.
Yeah, this is one of those scenarios, the Lord working with imperfect people. This is not going to be applied perfectly, unfortunately.
Now, I can give you some Brighamisms on this one, too. And this is actually very instructive. When Brigham Young spoke about meat, he actually referred to these verses in terms of resource management, not of health. So the word of wisdom is not just for health, it's for temporal salvation. That's not just health, that's surviving. That's survival, temporal survival. And the principle that Brigham Young taught here, it's not that the Lord prefers us to be vegan. It's that if you eat all your livestock in the summer. When winter comes and you have no crops producing food, and now you also don't have herds of meat, well, you got nothing. And you're going to die of starvation. Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.